I certainly benefited recently from recording a lot of videos of myself talking, but I have them privately in my little log. Most of them are on my MacBook here. And if I turn the thing on, it gives me a little pseudo audience or a sounding board. Maybe it's a real sounding board. For maybe more of the stuff that doesn't come out through the recording of music, which does seem to handle quite a bit. But there's still some stuff left. I enjoy the rawness of it when I usually will watch or record a video, say a bunch of stuff. I'm censoring myself a little bit. Say a bunch of things, and I do feel better after it's expressed, after that extroversion of whatever it is. Pretty much every time. Sometimes I'll talk for 5 minutes, sometimes I'll talk for an hour, which I just did to myself, and it got into some kind of deeper details of a major project I've been working on for a long time. But I can't upload from there at this point, so I thought I'd do another video on my phone, and there's a little bit of nervousness about doing a video such as this, because I've had more professional kinds of videos in the past, or at least I've outlined something or thought a little bit more before recording. I've also done music videos, so that's like 5 minutes of video and hours and hours and hours and hours of editing or whatever. Amateur level editing at this point still for me. Yeah, I don't have an editing tool here, so you're welcome for the gaps and the boredom and everything. There's certainly a difference between recording something that I think could be seen by somebody else versus something that I'm just going to review by myself. One reason I want to publish is because YouTube has actually proven to be a better, and I know they take people's stuff down and everything sometimes for all sorts of weird reasons, some of them political or whatever. But I'm a channel with almost no subscribers, and some of the videos I have on there, they're there, and they've been there for a few years, and they're still there. And maybe I don't have a better system for uploading that kind of stuff. I used to do audio recordings of like audio journals of my own life a few years ago. I did tons of those. And I don't know where they are anymore. I think some of them are on my Google Drive. Most of them are just gone. So I feel like if I would have published them in a better place, they'd still be there. I think that's kind of the attitude I have about my music too. So I have this 100 album project and 100 album goal, and it's been going on since I was 15, and I'm 30 now. And I've released 63 of them, and I'm on pace to finish the rest of them in just a few years. But really, what having those things published has done is it gives it like an extroverted record, even in the times where I wasn't really looking for an audience, which is most of the time. And I'm sort of back to that now. It's like, I don't care. I'm not doing it very well. I really appreciate when people buy um, my records, and now there's like some people buying some of the albums on Bandcamp, and that actually rules super seriously. Um, it gets me through. Um, but it's like just having the record and the organizational system. Um, there was definitely a point earlier this year and probably before where it was like, I don't want to do anything or put anything on the internet unless it's going to get a ton of views or it has like a chance to be a commercial success or something or whatever and this and that. And lately I've been finding a lot more people that just do personal vlogging and they communicate with each other and the views are very low, the likes are very low, but the comments, if there are any, are super quality. And there's something I've um, probably something I've benefited from this year is I saw um, like celebrities in a certain field and like people who had some fame, and then I've been kind of able to study that a little bit and see what kind of attention that actually is and what attention, what quality of attention that it is, that fame really is, or fame in 2019 with the internet and everything, and what it's ultimately doing and like what it might do for a revenue stream versus what it's actually doing for people's interpersonal relationships. And I really don't uh, envy it too much. I certainly admire it, and it's a valuable thing, fame and popularity and all that. But there's like so many different levels of being, and I guess these smaller YouTube channels that are probably harder to find, but once you find them, there's actual engagement that can go on. But also, there's the chance that they become like there's more intimate information passed. So there is kind of a risk. Um, and sometimes I get nervous with it. I would get nervous for it myself, like somebody seeing it, or or somebody who really has a small following of like other video makers. If that person, um, I don't know. It's like it's not like a larger video with somebody with a bigger following and a lot of comments and views where it's like you're showing up at a party and it's like, oh, there's already 100 people here, so I can just kind of hang out, or I can definitely comment something, and it's not going to be necessarily even that impactful or meaningful or something. Whether the smaller ones, I do worry about it more because I would hate to go into somebody's house when they were just hanging out with a few friends and sort of crash that. So there's a feel for um, how many people are actually there and what's appropriate to say. And it's like one of those things about social media that um, I feel incompetent with. It's like, damn, I just learned how to actually do this kind of shit right in real life. And now with communicating over social media, I've really found things that are cool about it, but also things that are really, really hard about it. And coming off the wrong way sucks. And getting like there's a huge potential for one-sided intimacy and paying attention to somebody's life really in depth, not going the other way around. But hey, I've got a million videos, not a million, but videos here and there the past few years of what I've been thinking about. Um, so that is there. quite a lot of meaninglessness. Now I'm like nervous. Like, do I stop this now? Did I say something valuable? I don't think so. I don't think I did. And then what do I title it? Like, yeah, that part makes me nervous. Hey, it's just a public record, I suppose. Um, anyway, um, somewhat relevant to YouTube. I was in the Talking with Famous People um, bracket showdown of the um, best METI channels or something, and I lost in the first round to um, INTJ INFP Coffee, which is now called Casual Cognition. Um, and it's just the INFP now. The INTJ has left the channel. But anyway, I was in that competition, and one of the things I used the hashtag sexual media, and I meant that to, I was kind of like made fun of for it. I was the only one using it or something. But let me explain if I didn't already, which I'm pretty sure I did. Sexual media, I mean, you might be engaging in sexual media on social media platforms. Sexual media does not mean porn. It doesn't have necessarily anything to do with sexual intercourse. Sexual media means one-to-one communication, using social media for one-to-one communication, whereas social media is more like communicating with groups of people, crowds of people. If you do a video and 5,000 people watch it and you get 500 comments, that's social media. It's a social thing. There's a group involved and everything. But if you're doing it just to communicate with specific individuals, that's what sexual media is. And it could be public. It could look like social media, but it's actually sexual media. And other sexual media is like texting, Facebook Messenger. That's what I mean by that. One-to-one stuff, mostly. Whereas self-preservation media is somebody who's just talking to themselves and really meaning it to talk to themselves. So this could be self-preservation media. And that comes from the Enneagram instinctual variant. Yeah, so I got a little bit of shade from whoever was on Talking with Famous People at the time about that, but it's totally logical, and it's an excellent system for making these kinds of distinctions, because I think they're really important to make. Because if I'm trying to have like a social media impact on something, and I only get like a little response from a few people, that's a failure in social media terms. Um, it's not my intention. Not my intention with whatever this is right now. And it's certainly not my intention when I do videos for myself and play them one time and whatever. Just keep them on my hard drive, and they eventually go to a external hard drive. And then the thing about external hard drives is they die. And that's where I'm like, well, I kind of want to just post this for self-preservation. And there is, I've made a lot of music for a self-preservation purpose. It's like, something about making music is you can make a song or an album, and you're putting yourself into it, but you're multi-tracking it, so it's like a bunch of selves of you at once. There's a bunch of aspects of you at once that team up to make a single vision, and then like that's you, and you can listen to that and remember that's you. And that's an awesome thing about making your own records for that purpose. It's you can psych yourself up, and you don't get like lost in the world as much if you go out in the world and you're listening to your own ideas, because you keep your own self that way. It's truly self-preservation, so you don't get eaten alive by everything else, and you don't get eaten alive by society, or you don't get eaten alive by sexual things, one-to-one relationship. You can maintain a self with self-preservation media. Probably what we'll call this. All right? All right.